Hello everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Ash.
Hello!
Our fellow Witcher companion, because there's new news in relation...
New news
to a new Witcher game. Now, we actually covered this back in August last year. There was a whole thing, this comment from one of the CDPR devs that hinted at the idea that they're going to forever, going forward, they're going to forever jump between Cyberpunk and The Witcher. So we sort of just took that to mean, well, obviously you're going to do The Witcher next.
Yeah.
And so now they've they've confirmed that in as much as...
confirmed.
It's so close. They haven't said Witcher 4. In fact, they've said that they're doing the next game. It'll be embedded in the Witcher franchise. It's not going to be called The Witcher 4. But yeah, CDPR's Adam Kaczynski was talking to you, or it was picked up by Eurogamer, and said that the next game after Cyberpunk 2077 is the next Witcher game.
Yes.
How does that grab you?
Hold on, I have a big quote for it.
Bring on the
quotes.
quotes.
I love a quote, so bring out a big fat quote, which is from Eurogamer Poland,
Yes.
which is, "We've already been working on another single-player game. We've created a relatively clear concept that is waiting for further development, and this is already beginning to happen, although we do not want to spend time at the moment. Immediately after completion of work on Cyberpunk 27, work on the next title will start from a hoof. We have two worlds, and within these worlds we want to create games, therefore all planned games are either Witcher or Cyberpunk." Yeah, start from the hoof up, I assume that means.
It's not like a Polish phrase. It'll start from the hoof. So yeah, they've got. They said they've got a concept nailed down, which I don't know.
Yeah.
That makes me think that it's not going to be exactly what we assume is from The Witcher 3, like in terms of the combat model and things like that. And we talked about it back in August, and I'm going to read some comments out as well because people left their suggestions as to what they want to see. From back then. Do you think they would do something like an MMO? That was one of the most talked about ideas, that they could pivot into MMO territory.
We spoke about it, and I think it's an interesting idea, but I don't think they're going to do an MMO. I don't think it's where their strengths lie. I think after seeing Witcher 3 and what Cyberpunk is going to be, that it just wouldn't suit them to have an MMO come out after that. I think they're story-driven, tight, single-player experiences that might have multiplayer on and that sort of thing as well, but they're about single-player, story-driven experiences, and to take that and put it into an open world where everyone is a Witcher and everyone's fighting the same bosses.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you play Elder Scrolls Online?
I have dabbled in it. I haven't ever gone into it fully. I'm not a big fan of MMOs. I like just sitting on my own in the dark. I don't want to. It's when I first went on it, everyone was like, "Oh, hello, let's go kill the boss," and like you saw their names floating above. I was like, "This is killing my immersion."
Well, because another thing with the immersion side with doing an MMO based on something where you're the one, or a very specific pivotal character role, is that once you make it an MMO, you kind of break that fiction. I remember that being like the big criticism of Elder Scrolls Online was that all the dialogue refers to you as the one, and there's like 50 of you right there waiting for the next mission.
You go and standing next to the guy who's like, "Hello, thank you."
But also you too. Hello, thank you. I don't know. I think that it would be a logical thing for them to do in terms of the amount of space that they've built, the size of the world that they've already built. Yeah. But at the same time, the story, for me, the reason that The Witcher 3 is one of the best things on earth is because of the characters. But what do you think about like customized characters and stuff? If they did, like pick your school, pick the way that you want to fight.
Absolutely. I think there's 6 different schools maybe. So we've seen the wolf. There's the viper. Wolf bear, viper, crane, cat, manticore.
Sweet Lord.
Sweet Lord. Sweet
Lord.
Lord.
He's not one of them, but I'd pick that one.
But yeah, those are at least the ones that are around that we've heard of. There's ones that haven't been delved into quite as deeply as the other ones. So to be able to have some lore extrapolated from that, I love that. I was watching our old video to see what we spoke about, and I said extrapolated about 10 times.
If you can drop a pontificate in there, it's very hard to make it sound natural, but it's good.
Oh, well.
If it's doable.
I will pontificate on the schools of The Witcher.
As well you should.
I think it would be lovely to have a build your own customizable Witcher that you start from the ground up and are like, hey, let's do the trials, let's pick my school, let's do all of the demos and different weapons and stuff and training. Yeah, customizable.
Yeah, at this point, I'm curious what other stories they can tell. I know that obviously the books, they are selections, some of them are selections of short stories, the vast majority follow Geralt and Triss and everything in Syrian Yen. But yeah, if you were going to pick another wing of that world to focus on, what would you do? I kind of think they could do more with the mage side of it, maybe the vampiric side of it.
Yeah. There was a couple of comments about the vampires coming into it more. I think my personal preference that I would want to see, that I vote for as the Witcher story, is the Cataclysm of the Spheres, when everyone comes in for the first time. So the Golden Age of Witcher stuff we've spoken about.
Is it the conflagration of the spheres?
Just
to stop us getting killed.
It's the conjunction of the spheres.
Is it?
Yeah.
Kill me then.
Well, there we go.
Put me down, comments.
Oh God, no, yeah, conjunction of the spheres, where everything comes together. All of these 1,500 years in the past-ish, when everything comes together. I even wrote down the journal entry. I got another big quote. I wrote down the journal entry because I think if you listen to this, it's the perfect setting for a new game, which is There are scores of learned works, dissertations, and treatises about this magical cataclysm from about 1,500 years ago. Because of this event, creatures never seen before entered our world and still do not have their own ecological niche here. Among others, graviers and ghouls are relics of the permeation of the spheres, though elven tradition has it that we, humans, are also newcomers from that time. The sorcerers claim that humanity received both the wondrous gift and the terrible curse that they consider magic at that time as well. So, you have the option to be a mage.
Well,
would be my argument.
Even the way that they do magic, I love, where it's like it's a force of will. Like loads of the monsters in the Witcher franchise are always born from intense like energies around certain wills. Like there's like soldiers who died in a war will result in drowners or things like that. I think there's more, like you said, there's more they can do with that, and more to do with at the very beginning of that timeline, discovering what magics or what energies create those beasts.
Yeah, and you could do a lot with like people learning magic for the first time and having new different ways of doing it before they come into the regular like sorceresses and wizards and all that sort of thing. I think there's just a lot you could play around with because it's not so much in stone, and there's all these different things that could come in before they go extinct as well. So you could have new monsters that you haven't seen before in the franchise and just explain it away as, there's only one of them that came over from the conjunction.
As long as they don't turn that into a raid boss, I'd probably be fine. So some comments, and like we said, we covered this back in August when it first came out, but Jacob Krunk was saying they would like to see a remastered version of the first Witcher. Like, you take Witcher 3's tech and apply that to the first one, because the first one has aged.
It's aged
a little bit.
Doesn't it have trading cards where if you diddle someone,
there is that,
you can collect?
Completely forgot about that. Yeah, you can collect depending on who you sleep with. You can get a whole pack of cards.
Yeah,
just fan them out. But I think I was thinking more in terms of the graphics, in terms of the fact that Geralt looks like a potato.
I think that should probably be fixed as well. But yeah, no,
and the combat system.
I'd love for that to come around again, because I feel like lots of people jumped on board with Witcher 2 and then very much jumped on board with Witcher 3. So to have that as an introductory point, because Witcher 2 still holds up in my opinion.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So you could go back to that, and then Witcher 3's obviously come out on Switch and had other things it's been ported to. So yeah, Witcher 3 remaster, Witcher 1 remaster would be good.
Yeah. As like a side point, do you think that this, because like you said, if you go from Witcher 1 to 2 to 3, 3 is this massive, expansive thing. It was their first like proper open world game kind of thing. Because 2's world areas are still quite small in comparison. Do you think they'll continue to get bigger, or like if they already hit? Because for me, 3 is like the perfect size.
Yeah, I think they should keep it that size and focus on stories again. Like they don't need the years and years that it took for Witcher 3, or they don't have the years and years that it took for Witcher 3, because they have also previously mentioned, CD Projekt Red have previously mentioned that they want another AAA title out by 2021.
Yeah.
So whether that's this one or something else, we'll have to see, but presumably it's the Witcher, because it's the one that's coming straight after.
I would assume that because they've already got the tech, they've got the fighting engine. I don't know. It's like I don't want to see more Geralt, but I kind of want to. I don't want to go too far away from that.
I want it to be like. Oh, you're going to kick me for this. I want it to be like Andromeda, where where you go like either into the future and the legend of Shepard is there.
Yeah.
Like that's what I would like. The legend of Geralt. Nothing else like Andromeda, but the legend of Shepard permeating through the same way as the legend of Geralt could permeate through. And people tell stories of the Great White Wolf and rescuing Ciri and all that sort of thing.
What's his face that landed on the moon that came back and did that really terrible voice line? Buzz? Aldrin? What was the guy that landed on the moon and was at the end of Mass Effect 3 and he's like, tell me the tales of the shepherd?
Was that supposed to be...
that was it, that was literally the
Armstrong?
Mr. What do you call the guy? Buzz... Why can't I think of the thing that I was taught in first school?
I thought you were talking about Buzz Lightyear for a second.
No, if they got Tim Allen to come in, that would be good. What's the name of the dude?
You've honestly thrown me now. I want to say Lance Armstrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a run-up. It's Armstrong. Armstrong is the guy on the moon. Leave this in.
I have no idea what you call the other dude that landed on the moon that isn't Buzz... Maybe it's Buzz Aldrin?
Buzz Aldrin.
It's definitely Buzz Lightyear. Anyway, he was the voice at the end of Mass Effect 3. That was the old guy.
I'm pretty sure it's Armstrong.
It's all right. It's fine. It's someone who was at the end of Mass Effect 3 who also landed on the moon.
Okay.
And they were a good person. Anyway, Mikhail Aziz says that they would like to see a Witcher story based around Vesemir back when he founded the school, and go into that stuff. I guess he would go into how he, like the teachings and how he decided on what was going to make a Witcher. Something that I think they skirt over a lot, especially in the games, is the idea that they kidnap children to make witches.
Yeah.
Like at some point he had to decide, even though we all love Uncle Vesemir, at some point he was like, well, I'm going to take him and him and him and inject them full of stuff and make them witches.
Monster hunters and monsters in themselves. Yeah, that's not a problem. Good old Uncle Vesemir. But yeah, no,
Poison V.
That isn't really spoken about a lot, the actual creation of a Witcher. It's just spoken that it's really painful and horrible a lot. Yeah. So that this is on kids is even worse,
well,
maybe?
Exactly. Do you think, because obviously like the pivotal character in regards to the trials and stuff, Trials of the Grasses, is Ciri. Do you think they would go back to Ciri, or just make a clean break from all that territory?
There's lots of argument that Ciri should be the next continuation of the story, but I think that's so closely tied to Geralt. If they're saying they don't want it to be The Witcher 4 and they don't want it to be other things that are linked to Geralt, then that's maybe not in the horizons for what this could be. But Ciri isn't a Witcher, so they could very easily have it in the Witcher universe and have a different title that isn't The Witcher 4 because she's not a Witcher. So have it as like Ciri Tales or whatever you want to call it.
I think that if they did, considering Ciri's power set in 3, I think she's kind of like too OP.
Yeah.
But I did love playing as her in terms of the teleportation and stuff like that. But yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Where the hell does the Witcher series go from here? Would you like to see more of Geralt, or would you like to create your own creature or person going forward? For now though, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Ash, also here.
I'll catch you next time. Buzz Aldrin.
Oh, Buzz.